My name's Dave DeBow, founder of MoneyPartnerFormula.com, and this show is built for everyday real estate investors who are actively doing deals and looking to scale using other people's money. So if you're an active real estate investor and you want to get featured on this show to talk about your own real estate and capital raising experiences, then just go to daveinterviewsyou.com. Now let's get rolling with this episode, and remember to subscribe for daily interview content.
Hey folks, we've got a special treat for you. We got Shawn Wagner zooming in. And why this is an extra special treat is because we all know how important tech is these days. We all understand that AI is the next big, already is the next big revolutionary thing. The question is, how do we use this in real estate? So Shawn he has a tech background. I love what he wrote in here. He's a PhD dropout, takes all the guru courses. What did I learn and how did I adjust my business? So I can relate to that, Shawn. I've taken a lot of guru courses over the years. So when it comes to real estate investing, maybe zoom out. Tell us a little bit. What do you do? How do you help people?
Okay. Well, first of all, thanks for having me, Dave. I appreciate it. So as a guy who grew up an Iowa farm kid, people are like, wow. But it all started in the 90s when I had the Nothing Down for the 90s book by Robert Allen, if anybody knows that book. And I was just that kid walking around high school and bought his first house when he was 19. And I just was always a real estate nerd. From there, it just kind of kept going, was taking courses. People kept telling me the way to do it right, become a licensed agent, do this, do that, do the other thing. So it kind of started off with a tech degree, but always being in real estate, eventually getting a master's, taught with NAR, you name it. I have all the credentials, dropped out of the PhD program because I wasn't getting what I needed. And so I spent a year doing all the gurus, conferences, whatever else.
What year was that, Shawn, that you're
probably 21? 2021.
Okay.
Yeah. So I've been a university professor in the state of Iowa since 2011, kind of just telling the students what I've lived through and kind of helping them from a practitioner standpoint.
Mm-hmm.
So where does my nerd talents meet the real estate talents?
Yeah.
So part of what I was asked by going to these conferences, it's always money. How do you get invited to any table? You either have money or you know how to get money. Mm-hmm. So one of the things that people kept asking me is, how do you find money? So I kind of scratched my head and I started looking into it. Well, I was finding more and more I needed government money. So I decided.
Why was that?
Well, when you're doing affordable housing and stuff, the math oftentimes just doesn't math out.
Yeah.
I tell people, if your rent's $1,000 a month and you take that times 30, you have a 30,000 gross potential income to work from. Well, then you just work backwards. Well, if it's an older property, you put in your operating expense ratio and your vacancy ratio, and then you start scratching your head and saying, how am I going to make it if I don't get 90+% occupancy every month?
Right.
So I just kind of went on my own, used my own money, used my own properties, started finding grants, government incentives, and these are existing properties. So these are 100-year-old buildings. And I was able to find, one's a 6-plex, one's an 8-plex, and I was able to find $30,000 for each building, and then another 30 plus a nonprofit that was also willing to give me some money. So the golden handcuffs were relatively low because they were using HUD standards as far as the rental, how much it was renting for. Right. So the golden handcuffs, I couldn't exceed the HUD standards, which in our market, that wasn't a problem.
You weren't doing it anyhow. So yeah.
Correct. So it made it easy to accept the golden handcuffs.
Yeah.
So it kind of evolved from there, and I started developing a system that would go out and find monies for different types of real estate development projects. And then along those lines, I ran into some hard money lenders. So I've been working on a new hard money program. It's not quite ready yet, but it's to be unveiled soon. And then So that's kind of how those systems came about. It's
One thing I love about what you did is you started with your own properties, and these weren't huge multifamily properties, a sixplex and an E-plex, and you're able to go find grants for those kind of properties. And I think if my math was right, I think like 90,000 over 100,000 altogether between those two properties. So that made a big difference. And so you started showing other people how to do that. Is that what I'm understanding? Or we other people?
Yes, we are starting to help people. It's very proximity based. So if you're getting ready to start a new development, we need the exact address, because we start at the federal level and then we go state, county, city, block, because some of my grants were block based.
Really?
Yes. So that's what people are like, oh, I can go out on the federal government site and look at the stuff up on themselves. Yes, you can. But it gets really tricky because at least at the government level, it's consistent.
Mm-hmm.
Once you get to the state, every state's different. Yeah. Once you get to the county, every county is different. Once you get to this, and on and on and on. So it becomes something that's ideal for a nerd. It's tough. Anybody who's like, oh, I'm going to put it into ChatGPT. No, you're not, because it doesn't work like that. It's way tougher of a problem. Trust me, if I could have used an AI to do it, I sure as heck would have, but I didn't, because it's too difficult of a problem yet. Okay. We do use AI on the back end to help clean and cleanse and go through it, but to find the data and find those leads, AI is not there yet.
Hey there, if you're a capital raiser, a syndicator, or a fund manager, and you're looking for a steady flow of incoming accredited investor leads, then go ahead, grab a free copy of my new book, How to Get 20 Accredited Investor Meetings Every Month Without Cold Calling, Networking, or Chasing People. You can get that at 20accreditedinvestorsbook.com. Again, that's the number 20accreditedinvestorsbook.com. Oh
yeah, so that's one thing that you focus on. What else are you doing in the tech/real estate space?
Thanks for asking. The most exciting thing we're doing is building AI operating systems for buildings. So I think
that's a lot of big words. I don't know exactly what it means.
I think right now, and in terms of right now, I think we're in the 1990s. Remember when everything was IBM compatible and everybody was trying to figure out which components they could put into the computer that the Windows operating system would detect. Mm-hmm. I think we are paralleling that right now with our buildings. The U.S. is trying to catch up on building technology. I mean, we're still using OSB for subfloor, roof sheathing. We're still using stick built. We're not getting all of the optimization that we can, and we've been studying China a lot. They're very futuristic with a lot of their modular buildings. So we wanted to be the operating system, the thing that connects every component in the house together, and then lets you do everything, including, and this is going to make me not super popular, have the AI list the house for sale. Have the AI market any vacancies available. This is where it gets completely different, because it not only is it helping you optimize how your utilities and things are running, but the AI is helping you say, we're not at full capacity. Help me get there, because that's all the AI thinks about is optimization, getting to the 100% threshold. And that's where this gets very exciting.
Well, okay. I'm getting confused already, which is easy. Okay. So Shawn, is this thing up and running, or is this in beta?
We have an active beta that we are testing with the lab of a building.
Okay, cool.
So it's not fantasy.
It's out. So walk me through this actual building that you've got this AI plugged into. First of all, how big is the building, and what is the AI currently actively doing with it?
Right now, it's a single family home. Okay. Because we didn't want to put it into any commercial buildings yet. Okay. But it's doing everything from managing from water detection, HVAC, utilities, but then it helps say, oh, it's take out the trash. Shawn, don't forget tonight's to take out the trash night.
Have you got this plugged into your own house? Is this what's going on here, Shawn?
No, it's not plugged into my house, but we do have it plugged into a house. So all of those things. And then here's the really cool part. Dave, let's say you buy my house and you're like, okay, well, what am I going to do? I'm going to go try and go through a file cabinet and find all the books and manuals, and then try and find all the usernames and passwords to hand over to you. Mm-hmm. So what our system does is allows me to transfer to Dave the whole AI operating system with the house. And it keeps track of who was our plumber, who was our electrician, who was our landscaper, what was our insurance for the last so many years, what was our taxes, how are we doing with utilities. All of that knowledge base stays with the house and just gets assigned to Dave. And that makes a huge difference, especially as our houses get smarter and smarter. Right now, we're still early stages of intelligence in housing. But as we continue to progress, the ability to keep this knowledge with the house and then have the house remind the new owner, hey, by the way, today is time to take out the trash. Hey, by the way, you said that there was a leak in the house. This is who we've used in the past for this type of leak. Hey, here are the insurance quotes from the different insurance companies we've used in the past too. Now you can see what we've gotten quoted. So you get all of that intelligence remains with the house with its dedicated AI.
Okay. I can see the appeal of that. I can definitely, way more so than on the single family home side of things. I can see this being attractive to multifamily and commercial owners. So let's extrapolate this to, maybe it's not happening just yet, but I'm sure it's in the works. Let's say I have a 100-unit apartment building. How would this work there?
So that's a great question. How it works is it works the same as a single family, except there's a parent-child relationship. So the parent is the landlord property manager. And then the children, each unit would have access to manage their own unit, but they all report into the parents. So you don't lose any of the data all the way down. And it also helps that continuity, hey, there's a leak in my apartment. So it logs a ticket and gets its service tech out there. It can help work with you to schedule the service tech. It can help you do all of those things. And and it knows it's monitoring your leases and saying, oh, this lease is going to expire. Did they renew or not? If they did not renew, then it actively will go out and start marketing itself for new tenants. And so it applies the same also to warehousing, or we had a gentleman with a car wash. So the way we're looking at it is for his car wash, for example, let's say he has a 20 car minimum per day and it's getting close to 4:00 and he's only at 15 cars. The AI is starting to say, hey, we didn't make our minimum today. We're going to start offering discounts. We're going to start marketing this on Facebook. We're going to do whatever it takes to get to our 20 car minimum.
Change the sign out front and, all that kind of stuff. And
whatever it can control. So the logic applies across all types of real estate. As you can imagine, we have 2 churches and a university also that are in the line for us to test with. And because everybody's got a little bit different, a little different way they want their property managed. So we're fortunate we have quite a few people in queue that want to try out our system.
They want to be guinea pigs. Yeah, it makes sense.
Yes.
So, Shawn, just out of curiosity, the single family home example, it's time to take out the trash. Does the AI send you a text message? Does it talk to you through Siri? Give you a kick in the ass through your smartphone? What does it do?
Well, as we both know, everybody likes to receive communication differently.
Yeah.
And so as you recognize people in your house, for example, let's say traditional household, two spouses and two kids, let's say. And let's say the kids like to receive texts. The parents want to receive phone calls. Okay. It can do that. Because it knows it will start learning people's preferences. And then let's say mom and dad assign Junior to take out the trash. Well, Junior would be in our service person list. And once, I'm going to say dad's the taskmaster here. Dad said, you're going to do the trash. So now every time it's trash day, the system, because dad told it, you've been assigned this task, it's always going to say you need to do it. Now, there's going to be, we're still working out some of these things, but it's just, for us, it's no different than calling an electrician or a plumber or a roofer or whatever. It's just, you can also have service members that are part of your family so that you can assign them tasks as well.
No, it's very, very interesting. I like how your mind works. I can see this being a little ways out. How long do you think it's going to take before this is fully functional, especially in the multifamily space?
Well, I'll be honest. I hope to have it implemented this year in a multifamily space.
Yeah.
Because the thing is that we're really focused on is interoperability. So one of the trickiest parts, most of our houses are dumb still. So we're going to see, at least for the next foreseeable future, let's say 10 years, there's going to be a lot of retrograding of houses, and there's going to be, this constant, okay, I'm using this electrical panel, it doesn't have smart integrated. I'm using this water heater, it doesn't have smart integrated. So we're going to have a lot of patching and a lot of, retrograding, and, because as far as I know, there's very, very, very few developers right now that are developing at a full smart integration home or building, So I think it's going to be one of those things, just like the 1990s and building PCs. The operating system is going to be one of the core things you consider as you develop your building.
Yeah. Shawn, fascinating stuff. If people want to connect with you, what's the best way for them to do that?
LinkedIn, Shawn D. Wagner, SHAWN, D as in dog, Wagner, WAGNER.
Awesome. Shawn, thanks for being on the show. This has been fascinating. We'll have to have you back in a year or two and see where things are at.
Thank you so much, Dave. Appreciate you.
All right, everybody. Take care. See you on the next one.
Hey there, I really hope you enjoyed that episode. And as always, if you want to listen to more daily interview content, make sure you subscribe. And if you're an active real estate investor and you're doing deals and you'd like to get featured on this show, then just head over to daveinterviewsyou.com.